veggies, my name is VTR and welcome back to another movie review. And we have finally, after months of waiting and months of movies of Scooby-Doo films, I finally watched Scoob. Just got done watching it just now, and there's a lot of thoughts here. And I mean a lot of thoughts. First things first, I'm going to say this. Do I think the criticisms that we were getting from critics with this movie were warranted? No, I don't think so. Because I don't think a lot of them got what this is going for. They weren't going for a traditional Scooby-Doo mystery. And that I like, because one, we've seen that stuff hundreds of times. We've seen that stuff a lot. I think that's why they went with a different thing, which honestly wasn't a bad idea in my opinion. The other Hanna-Barbera characters thrown in, definitely do feel secondary. You get a cameo from Captain Caveman. There's a whole bunch of references in the background. Obviously, you got Blue Falcon, and I forgot what show she's from, but it's like that Josie and the Pussycats or something like that. And you got all that, and talk about the elephant in the room, the voice cast. Obviously, a lot of people were not happy with the voice cast for this movie, and I completely understand that. Me personally, at first, I wasn't too happy about it either. I definitely wasn't a fan of Shaggy's kid voice actor, but I didn't mind the voice acting in this. Legit, I didn't. Shaggy sounds alright. Even though the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that the original cast was wanted to do this, but they didn't, and maybe they're glad they didn't now they saw how poorly the movie did. Scooby has his original voice actor, but there's a weird thing about it that Scooby talks a little more fluidly, I noticed, which at sometimes it's just a little jarring, but most of the time it doesn't really bother me. The first 15 minutes is like an episode of Scooby-Doo, which I like. For some reason, this movie is not set in the fictional town, either one of the fictional towns that Scooby's existed in, Coolsville or Crystal Cove. I believe that's the other one. It's this. They live in California, which is weird. I'm not a big fan of that, but anyway, the movie, the animation is really good. I can't doubt that. This has got really good animation. A lot of people aren't fans of the gang's redesign, especially Fred, which I get but I kind of don't mind it. And another criticism I heard with this movie was the fact that the gang is separated most of the movie, and that is true. But honestly, I think it works in the movie's favor because it's supposed to show Scooby and Shaggy growing, and even though we've gotten this story in the past of Scooby and Shaggy not feeling right, and for some reason there's a Simon Cowell cameo, which is fun, but also very weird, but also not with the weird It's not, and it's also not the first time Simon Cowell's been in animated form. I think I was in the Shrek 2 special features of the Far, Far Away Idol. But the main criticism this movie got was that it's not a Scooby-Doo movie. And yeah, I will agree, this isn't a Scooby-Doo traditional movie. I will agree on that. But, like I said, I don't think they were trying to do that. I felt like they were so. I don't understand. I guess like a little bit of that like bothers me for now. While watching this movie, I felt like my critic side is gonna like not attach itself to this movie, but it did. And I even tried to have my critic side. Like I'm walking my mind like, whoa, critic VTR, back down. But no, there was some stuff. There's some jokes. I don't remember there being really ever a fart joke, actually, which I'm surprised by, with this being. But there was actually a couple of jokes that actually made me legitimately laugh. And there was some cringy jokes. Not gonna lie, like the Netflix joke that's in the movie. That feels like it's too trying to be relevant. And the movie's not very clear on when this takes place, because when they're kids, I see Daphne using a smartphone for her flashlight, and then in the future they're using smartphones, and so when does this take place? So I'm guessing, and you also see Shaggy has a smartphone, and so I'm guessing it takes place in the future, whatever. I don't think that's important, though. And this is trying to build up a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe. And yes, I do believe, I get why there's all the references to the rest of the Hanna-Barbera, but one thing that a lot of people don't like about the references to Hanna-Barbera is because the fact is because we've seen cinematic universes get built off of their solo films first by the MCU. But with this, I see why they did what they did, because of the fact we've seen Scooby-Doo be done so much in the past. And honestly, I don't get a lot of the hate. Now, am I going to say this is a flawless movie? It was one of my most highly anticipated movies of this year, but is this movie flawless? Absolutely not. Is this movie fantastic? No. Is this movie bad? No. I didn't hate it. It's not the best movie ever, but it's not bad. I'd go as far as say it's pretty good. Even though it's got no decent critic reviews on the box or anything. But I get what they were trying to go for with this. And yes, there are definite moments I'm not enjoying the movie, with some bad jokes, some scenes dragged out. The villain, Dick Dastardly, is good. I know of the guy from Wacky Races, which is really cool to see that. And that a lot of people are going to be going into this expecting a Scooby-Doo movie. And if you go into this without that mentality, you're going to have a fun time, I think. But I really did like what I just watched. This was fun. It wasn't awful. It wasn't terrible. And I'll give it a solid 3.5. That's what we'll go for. I'm not going to give it a 4. I'm not going to give it a 3. We'll go a solid 3.5. It's definitely not bad. That's something I don't understand, because the tropes and everything we see, I was like everyone says you're a critic. You're supposed to hate when they go for tropes and everything like that. I don't agree with that, because if I can look at it from a critical perspective and still enjoy a movie that most critics can't, well, that's fine. The release of this movie was a big deal and everything, and it got released. It didn't get to go in theaters because of recent events, and it got released to VOD, then eventually on home release. I bought it on VOD when it first came out on VOD, and then I eventually bought this, which has a digital code, which I'm probably going to be giving away in the future. Not saying I am 100%. Don't take this as me announcing a giveaway. Don't want to get into that boat at the moment. But I enjoyed this movie. It's not bad. It's definitely. I wasn't going into this expecting a Scooby-Doo mystery. I wasn't. Well, definitely there's some scenes that kind of put that, like there's a mystery aspect at points, but that's definitely not what this movie's going for. It's not going for a mystery, and like, because even if they were going for a mystery, there's nothing to solve here. Like, you know what the villain's plan is, you know what he's going for, and it's just a fun time, and I'd very much recommend it. It's not the best thing ever. It's not terrible. It's not the best, but yeah. So probably my next review is probably going to be Trolls World Tour. I'm finally going to get around to reviewing that as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!